I think now is an appropriate time to begin this episode and really something I'm looking forward to. We have got two of my favorite people on this planet, two of the best superstars on planet Earth, right here. Welcome aboard, fellas.
I appreciate you having us. You got double trouble today, brother.
Double trouble, baby. Where's the second sexy voice at?
Yeah, no, thanks, Ryan. Good to be here.
Hey,
Always a pleasure to be on this podcast. So,
hey, thank you, man. A pleasure's all mine. So, gentlemen, I know you've been spending some quality time together recently and enjoying. I would love to get your thoughts on the latest developments in the World Cup. As it stands, we're about an hour and 10 minutes, give or take, from Tunisia and Japan to close out what I believe is, if I'm not mistaken, this is match day 10, or not match day two, day number 10. Every single time I mess that up, it's going to happen all tournament. Day number 10 of the World Cup, man. I'd love to get your thoughts not only on day number 10, but everything before then. The floor is yours, fellas.
I'm gonna let Shivam get us rolling here.
yeah. Uh, well, I think day 10 was very entertaining. Um, or sorry, day it is day 10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Day 10.
Yes, day 10.
Okay. Yeah. No, today it was a good set of games. Germany, Ivory Coast was especially entertaining. I think that's one that I really enjoyed. Just as an outside fan looking in. I haven't been too. Look. I'm not gonna pretend to be a soccer expert like Malik and yourself and Ryan but I will say so far the World Cup's been very entertaining and hasn't disappointed. And today was just another example with Ecuador Curacao, very defensive focused battle, and Germany, Ivory Coast as well. And before that, even to a degree, I would say Netherlands, Sweden was also very very entertaining. Yeah, that was a 4-1 result, right?
5-1. Yeah,
5-1
yeah,
result.
yeah.
It felt a lot closer than the score looked. That one in particular. And so yeah, no, I mean it's all been very great. And yeah, I think so far the there's been a good mix of upsets and kind of performances in line with your expectations, and it's kind of kept everyone honest in their predictions. And for my predictions at least, it's I think Germany is like the surprises of the tournament so far have been really, in my view, Mexico, the USA, to start, um, and yeah, I think it's been entertaining for sure to watch.
Awesome, man. I hear you're a New York Knicks fan as of June 2026 as well. So congratulations to your New York
Ah,
Knickerbockers.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No,
champion, champions do not du monde de America because they're not world champs, but
no,
uh,
I think you could call yourself world champs. Uh,
well, I mean I guess that's a whole separate can of worms, man. That's a whole
um,
separate can of worms. I mean, it's one thing, I guess, in the NFL, like if you call yourselves world champions, because there's no other fucking football league other than Canada and the CFL and the UFL or whatever. But I think when it comes to basketball, even if you are the best team in the world, I don't think you
yeah,
can call yourself world champs when you're not playing it's not a world league. But that's a different
right.
kind. But yeah, congrats to your Knicks as well, man. I know diehard fan for about 3-4 weeks now. So
Yeah, no,
do we get you shirtless
I
at the
think
parade by any chance or not?
I was not. I could not go to the parade.
Uh,
I was busy, but yeah, I will say it's been a very electric atmosphere here in New York. Malik's been here for a week, less than a week now, and he can tell with the World Cup, with the Knicks winning. I've never like yeah. If you're in the city, it's a great place to be right now. But yeah, no, the Knicks were very impressive. I feel like even in the city, as a New York resident, even if there's a lot of people that are not Knicks fans that love basketball, they like might be Laker fans, they might be Warriors fans, they might be but like it was really special to see the last 3 months everyone kind of rally around the Knicks in the city, and it was really a good kind of a good moment to see everyone united on one goal, and that was like um, my like motivation as well. But yeah, it was great to see the Knicks win, and yeah, first one in 53 years, 52
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Malik, I want to get your thoughts on some of these recent World Cup matches. I know
yeah, yeah. So
the other day we came on here, so from then till now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, man.
yeah, 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 definitely, 100%. Um, Quick question for Shivam.
Yeah.
Is the reason why the World Cup has been so entertaining for you and lively, is it because A, you're living in the city, you got access to various watch parties, B, games are at a reasonable hour? Although when I say reasonable here, we've had a couple of games kick off at midnight,
Right.
which is insanity. But nevertheless, at least it's not say a 5 a.m. start, when
Mhm, mhm.
games were in Russia in 2018 or in 2022 when it was in Qatar. There was a big time difference there. They are
Yeah.
about 12 hours ahead. Is that a big reason why?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of those things where it's a great environment to be in a city and to watch the cup and all the matches. And yeah, and they are at reasonable times. At least, correct me if I'm wrong. I think on an average match day, there's 3 games, 3 to 4 games, and at
Yeah,
least two of those are at a reasonable hour,
yeah, yeah,
either
yeah,
an afternoon slot
yeah,
or a late afternoon slot
yeah,
or an early evening slot,
yeah,
and that's definitely helped with convenience and being able to watch. But I will say, not just that, but the teams have been impressive too. Like the actual
yeah,
matches themselves have been interesting. All the storylines with like the stars.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and also
Talking about like
first,
Congo, right?
yeah,
Cape Verde getting
yeah,
those ties.
yeah,
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 and also first time, not first time, but like, well, actually, yes, a few first time, uh,
debutantes in the World Cup. Yeah,
debuts,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
of a lot
yeah,
of countries.
yeah,
All of that combined has really created an entertaining tournament. Yeah, like Curacao, for example, today
yeah,
got their first.
yep,
To your point, got
yeah,
their first point
yeah,
ever, and that's like a big deal for
yeah,
that country.
yeah,
Small country. You know, so same with like similar with like Cabo Verde, also like their debut, and they've been somewhat impressive as well. And yeah, so I think all those factors have played like a role in this being a very entertaining tournament.
Well, good, good. I love it. I
What
love it.
about like your perspective from someone who's like very much in the weeds of this sport, has followed this sport for such a long time? Both of you actually. Um, how do you feel like this tournament has fared compared to previous ones so far?
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, Ryan, we ain't catch up in a spell. Last time I think we talked was Colombia, Uzbekistan, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was
Yeah.
we were looking ahead to match day two.
Yes.
So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think it was Wednesday night.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Um, so yeah, man, since then, well, first and foremost, I had the opportunity to watch the US Australia game yesterday. First at a watch party right nearby, and then we went somewhere else with a group of friends. And that's the first time I truly ever saw people care about US soccer. I have never seen it. I have never seen it like that, whether it was just and Aussie doing a hard foul, or the two goals that were scored, the oohs and ahs when they're building up play and stuff like that. And I was looking around and I was like, bro, like, wow. I mean, we've come a long way, and I'm talking about in comparison to the 2010 squad, right? That advanced to the knockout stage. You didn't feel that type of same energy or passion whatsoever. So, I thought that was definitely very special. And then, since the last time we did talk, we have the U.S. and Mexico both winners of their group. So for two of three host nations to top their group is definitely, I think, a huge plus. It's a bonus, without a doubt. We'll see what Canada does against Switzerland. We'll talk about that game in a little bit here shortly, but that's certainly significant. And I mean, since then, I know that this has been the talk of the town lately, but you know, uh, Turkey, man. I Can you believe it?
No, I mean, I would definitely, I mean, if it's not the surprise of the tournament, it's up there for sure. It's probably in the top 3 or 5, so far in the first 10 days of the World Cup. I mean, on them specifically, yeah, not only the fact that they're already eliminated, but the fact they couldn't even score a singular goal, and it really, really to crash and burn like that, and really to have really nothing going forward in both of those matches. I mean, they were creating chances, but the quality of chances were never really there, and just really uninspiring performances in both. And I guess it goes to show you that there's a reason why they were a playoff spot team. I think maybe looking into it, you thought maybe they had gotten a favorable draw, but I think you got to give a lot of credit to Australia and Paraguay as well. For goal, especially Paraguay, to be honest with you, after the way they got their asses spanked against the USA in match day one. You always love to see in any sport, you'd love to see a team respond, and I don't think you could ask for a better response. I mean, was it pretty? No, but 3 points is 3 points. Um, but yeah, just on that, I mean, yeah, can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you some numbers here for Turkey. 75% possession, 62 shots, 13 shots on target, 101 touches in the opposition box, 3.48 expected goals, 20 corners, 5 big chances,
Hmm.
and they scored 0 goals. And we've always had this conversation, Ryan, you and I, about when anyone with such high expectations, things don't go their way, who's the first guy that's going to get blamed? It's going to be their manager. But dude, with the stats and the numbers that I just said to you and the listeners, bro, the manager is doing everything and more. He has put them in the best position. At the end of the day, as well, man, your players have to go out and produce, and they haven't done that one bit. So it's crazy that this is. I don't think we've ever seen a team with this type of talent uh, in our lifetime. Have these type of metrics and stats and get eliminated. You know what I mean? And I saw, you're seeing a bunch of memes out there right now about just the way that the ceremony and the police escort that they did when they were coming over to the U.S., bro. They closed all the roads. They had the turkey bus. And then leading them was a battalion of cars and everything, and it was on TV, and it was such a big deal, and for them to crash and burn like this is crazy. And I want to give a shout out to Arda Guler, because he just came right out and said that this is embarrassing. He just said it straight up, word for word. He said that this is embarrassing, and he's not going to forget about this, and they have a lot to learn. So I just, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it when we talked about them after match day one when Hakan Çalhanoğlu
Uh-huh.
before the Australia game.
Uh-huh.
When you you start talking like that and then it doesn't work out, that's also something where sometimes, like you said,
Yeah, he's coming off as
that's
the
when they
arrogant
want.
as an arrogant little as arrogant and doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not even that. It's just one of those things that you love when people talk with confidence like that, but when it doesn't back up, then it's one of those things that for every time that it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think for Arda Güler, you mentioned him. He's still super young, and
Yeah.
they do have a lot of young talent. I'm sure they'll be back, but I think they definitely. What's interesting, statistics sometimes don't always tell the full scope of the story because you
Yeah.
mentioned all those statistics and they really did dominate the number of chances. But what was remarkable to me was that in many ways they played worse yesterday than they did against Australia. And they played an entire second half with the man advantage, and
Right.
they couldn't do shit. I mean,
Right. Right.
they had the possession, they had the chances, but they never really felt like they were a threat to actually score. So it's like they had the metrics of the possession and the touches and the shots on goal, but like I don't think any of those shots on goal you look at it, you're like, man, that could have went in. Like, sometimes, in a game like football, for example, um there are sometimes even chances that they're not even on target and they're really close chances, but it never really felt like they had any actual threat. They were dominating the metrics, but there wasn't that cohesion, especially kind of in the final third, to really be able to get in the back of the net. And I mean, Paraguay scored in what was it, the second minute yesterday, and they just
Right.
held on for
The
dear life
fastest
for
goal.
90
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, and they just held on for dear life, and they had 10 men the whole second half. I mean, I don't think they did anything really after they scored that goal. That was really they just you know really disappointing from them. And then on the flip side, you mentioned the U.S. team too. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start for them. And I think if you would have told the U.S. that through 2 match days, you're gonna win both. You're gonna already top the group, and in match day 3, not only are you topping the group, but Turkey is done. Like, they're already eliminated. I don't think you could have asked for a better start for them. Um, so yeah, I think it's been a really fascinating tournament so far. I mean, we love coming in here and uh so it's one of those things where I can't wait to continue to see how these matches unfold and really just keep adding to the picture on a daily basis. I think is what's really exciting. Is being able to really just watch it materialize in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. And then just some of the other, since we last talked, you and I, some of the other action I wanted to just chat about briefly. Um, Canada winning 6-0 against Qatar, their first ever World Cup win in front of their in front of their home fans. I thought was special. Prayers up for Ismaili. Remind me, Ismail, yeah, of Ismail Cohn.
It's my opponent.
Uh, yeah, man, breaking his leg, and I don't know if you saw this, but Qatar head coach Julian Lopetegui was giving Jesse Marsh an earful about running up the score, and it's like, bro, this is a tournament, and um, Canada and Switzerland are going to play each other, and if that game ends in a draw, guess who would go through because they hung six on you? Canada. So like if you don't I never liked that stuff, man. And even when I was a coach, this is something that I live by. If you don't want your opponent to score, to run up the score, you don't let them. It's that
Yeah.
simple. It's
Yeah.
that simple. You don't let them do it. So it's not on Jesse that you had two reds and you allowed them to hang six on you and they're playing in front of their home fans. What, you think they're just gonna have a mercy rule? Like, get out of town, bro. It's stupid.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I always actually felt that it's more disrespectful to your opponent if you take your foot
Exactly.
off the gas. That's the
Exactly.
way I always look at it, that you're disrespecting the game by, hey,
Yeah.
showing them like I think the way you honor the game, regardless of the sport, is you play your ass off, whatever sport it is, from the second it starts until it ends. Like, I hate this mentality of like, oh man, we're getting our asses kicked. Like we want them to take no, like look, if I'm a coach and we're coaching a team and we're getting our asses, like if it's basketball, we're getting our asses kicked by 50, 60 points. It goes both ways. I want them to keep trying to kick our ass and beat us by 120, and then you want the players on your team to show some fight and say, "Hey, look, even if we're getting our asses kicked by 60, the game's still going on. You got to go out there and compete like it's 0-0." So yeah, I hate this defeatist stuff where it's whatever the sport is, where it's like, oh, it's classless. You're running up the score. No, that's bullshit. What's
Yeah.
classless, like you said, is you're disrespecting the game
Yep.
by
Mm.
taking your foot off the gas,
You're
and
belittling your opponent if you
yeah,
do that.
it's like you feel sorry for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd be offended if I was a coach and it's like, nah, look, I want you to put six past me because shit, put 10. Like, let's go. Like, that's how you develop character and as a team, like,
Right.
that's how you know what you're made of. Like, if you're cat you get your asses beat 6-0. How do you bounce back? I want to know if I'm a manager, if I'm a coach. Like, I don't want to coddle these players and like, oh man, they should have stopped at 3. Like, no, fuck that shit. They should have kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're representing your country in the World Cup and you lose this badly and your first reaction is complaining why the other team is running up the score, that's frankly just a bad look on yourself, not just yourself but your country. That's like almost humiliating in the sense that like you should have more pride than that. Yeah, with you.
So let me ask you guys something else real quick. Any thoughts moving forward? Whether it's with the rest of the World Cup matches, maybe this weekend, or any other things going on in the world around you that you'd like to chop it up about while we've got the time here.
Oh, Ryan, I mean, bro, you know us, man. We can roll for hours.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
you
mean
know that we could. Hey,
that
we could go for 3, 4, 5 hours. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. That goes without saying, but um in terms of, so that's the one game I wanted to talk about for Thursday. Oh, and then
Oh yeah, we
shout
didn't
out
even talk about
Mexico.
Friday.
What's that?
Yeah, I said we still haven't even gotten to Friday. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, I
Okay, yeah.
know.
So
Yeah.
Mexico. Yeah, what were your thoughts on Mexico, South Korea?
Bro, that was a Korea just didn't have it that day, man. They didn't. They didn't. Um, for us, of course, we're at a watch party, so um it's a little difficult in terms of like uh getting a read on how loud the stadium was and whatnot. But um, Mexico didn't play their best. Korea didn't play their best. But all it takes is one mistake and uh, Romo being at the right place in the right time and just slotting a goal in that easily. Um, was there any update on Son by any chance? When he got subbed out around like minute 67, I was hella surprised.
I think, to be honest with you, I think it's
It was
not. I don't think it's.
tactical.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
just tactical, man. I think he just hasn't really played his best in these first two matches. I
that's
mean,
true.
I
That's
think
true.
I don't think it's anything injury related. I think he just hasn't really had much. He hasn't really been much of a threat in either of these first two matches, and I'd imagine that match day 3 against South Africa, they're really gonna have to try and get him going. But you know what? I mean, he's a bit older too, man. I mean, he's not really. I mean, it's not like he's 90 or anything, but like it is definitely showing some cracks and it hasn't really been hit at his sharpest. But it's also a small sample size of two matches. For all we know, he comes back against South Africa and bags a goal.
Right.
I think it's really just Mexico, man. The way they play. They're very content kind of suffocating you out of a match. I mean, really, South Korea only had one chance, which was a double
At the
save,
end
and
of the
that was
game.
it at
Yeah.
the end of the game. That was the only I think those were the only 2 shots on target they had the whole match.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't really have much of any threat going forward. Kind of lacked a little bit of cohesion, and I think it's partly in reason because I think Mexico, in those types of matches, we've talked about it before, where when there's that stylistic contrast, it's always which side is going to make the other one play their way that they want to play. And I felt that Mexico did a really good job of being able to squeeze South Korea out of the match, and then it goes without saying too. I mean, the goal that Mexico scored, that you run that play 100 times and they probably don't score 98, 99 times, but the keeper drops the ball, and I mean, Romo's not going to score the easier goal in his life.
Right.
um the ball fell to him. I mean, it might as well put it on a silver platter with a fork and a knife and let him walk it into the back of the net. Like, um but yeah, shout out to Mexico. Not only already moving on, but they're gonna top the group. They're
Yeah.
they're gonna they're gonna be a tough team. Whoever they play, it's gonna be tough to beat them in Mexico, regardless of who it is.
Yeah. 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 Certainly. 100%. 100%. And
Especially if
and big credit to Javier Aguirre. He's just playing to the team's strengths. He's not
yeah,
forcing them to be something that they're not. And what they're not is they're not going to try and score 5 goals in a game. They're gonna be calculated in their chances. They're going to defend hard and they're going to be physical. And he knows
yeah.
that. He knows that, he doesn't have an elite striker by any stretch of the means. And he knows that goals are going to come tough for this Mexican side. So,
Yeah, you know what I thought was interesting too, in match day one, one of the surprises for me was Edson Alvarez not getting the start, and then Cesar Montes got the red, and they put Edson Alvarez in against Korea, and he was really good. So now I'm interested to see in match day three, and moving forward for the rest of the tournament. Does Alvarez continue to start? What happens in that aspect? Because Alvarez was really good against Korea too.
yeah,
Um, and he was one of the best players on the pitch. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. But yeah, I think you said it best. They're very calculated. They know who they are. They don't play outside of their means, and they rely on the style of play that they have, and the home crowd. And look, is it the sexiest way of playing? No, of course not. But I don't think anyone really cares as long as you get the results. And so
yeah,
far, the 2 matches they've gotten the results.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Definitely.
What did
What
you
do you
think?
think?
What did you guys
Do
think?
you
Go
think
ahead. Go ahead.
Mexico has been what's been more surprising to you? Mexico dominating their group or the US dominating their group? Um,
I'll leave that to Malik. Malik, what do you think?
I'm gonna say U.S. and I'm gonna say the U.S. because I certainly didn't project them to win the group. I did think that Mexico was going to win the group, so I'll definitely say the U.S. For sure.
Yeah, I'd say not even just the results for the US, but just the way that they've played has been. I mean, uh, I mean, it goes to show you what a difference a manager can make. I mean, we talked about it with Tuchel and Southgate and
Yeah,
Berhalter and Pochettino. Like,
yeah,
they would have never played like this 4 years ago or at any other point before Pochettino. So you got to give him a lot of credit, for the way that they're playing, and they're really firing on all cylinders right now through 2 matches. And honestly, that Turkey game on match day three is going to be interesting because obviously Turkey are eliminated already, but you'd have to imagine that they're going to try and play with a little bit of pride. And
for sure.
uh,
Especially because the game's in L.A., bro. I already know hella Turkish people are gonna show up.
yeah.
You know
so
what I
I
mean? So
yeah, so if you're Turkey, you're eliminated, but you still have 1 match left to make your nation proud, and to get the sour taste out of your mouth a little bit, maybe set the stage for future competitions where if you really learn their and then on the flip side, I think it would be like a nail in the coffin if they get beat down again and they don't score again and they go 3 matches, no goals, no points. That's a tough one to go back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even though you're eliminated, what kind of level of fight do you show? And then if you're the U.S., given the fact that you've already kind of topped the group, do you keep riding the momentum train? Do you play the same lineup? Do you maybe give some guys a little bit of a breather? I'm interested to see what happens there as well.
Yeah.
Um, what
You reckon the Turkey manager survives another goalless victory? What's his name?
The Turkey coach?
Yeah.
I'm not sure of his name actually. Let me
Oh,
Google this.
isn't it Vincenzo?
Vincenzo.
Let me confirm with you right now.
Yeah, Vincenzo Montella. There you go. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
gonna call
okay.
him.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna say, yeah, Vincenzo Montella. There you go.
Yeah. Given their
They,
high expectations, if they have yet another no show, yeah, he's probably out, right?
probably. I mean, Tunisia sacked their coach after the first match against Sweden. So did
Yeah,
Bicoastal.
yeah, that's something that I'm gonna talk about for sure. Once we get closer to talking about today's matches and giving a preview of that game. But dude, so now that we know Turkey eliminated, US topped the group, prices for the US Turkey game went down by $500.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
The
I
the
bet.
cheapest ticket was like 1.6, 1.7, and now it's going for resale market. I'm strictly talking resale here. It's going for $1,000. So it shot
I
down
mean,
as a result.
that's still a lot, man. A grand. I
It is,
mean,
of course. It's still a pretty penny, no doubt. But yeah,
still
I
a
mean, it
pretty
just
penny.
goes to
But,
show you
I see your point. I mean, I know with with these
dynamic
prices.
pricing, as they call
Yeah,
it.
it goes up and down. Like with Iran, Belgium. It was like 400 something, and then
Shut
it
up.
went up. It went up, and I think it's like I haven't checked what it is, but I think it's over 1,000 a ticket. So but you know what it is, man. I think uh, you know, if you get your foot in the door at a World Cup match, the I guess is it a yeah, but if you can fork it up and you can do it, it's a once in a lifetime experience. I see both sides of it, man, because it's like one of the things I don't know how you guys have felt about the atmospheres, like from watching it on TV. Do you feel like it's as loud as it normally is, or do you feel like it's a little bit quieter? Maybe like the attendance maybe is solid, but maybe not as much noise. I'm curious to see what you guys think about that.
Say it again.
With the matches,
Yeah,
do you guys when you're watching on TV, Malik? I know you were at France Senegal as well, so
yeah.
maybe it doesn't play the same way on TV. Like one of the things I've noticed with a lot of these matches is that there is some of these matches there's some empty seats for sure, but even in the ones like where the attendance is pretty good, it feels like the attendance is not necessarily the problem. Like I think it goes back to the Yanni Infantino part of the conversation, where like
Uh-huh.
it's like, okay, we live in America, we're dynamic pricing. It's an American market. They want to pay these high prices. So I don't think it was ever really much of a question mark, maybe if people would pay the prices. But I do wonder if you guys have felt that maybe on TV, when you watch, or maybe in person, that maybe it's not been as loud as it could have been, or do you think that the atmospheres have still been solid regardless?
Well, for me, with my game, right? We're speaking on France, Senegal, and you and I set the stage about that game so beautifully, right? And you had an attendance of that game of 80,545 people. So, in terms of the atmosphere and everything, that's unmatched, dude. That really is. It genuinely unmatched from everything at the pregame. They got a DJ set. They got various stores, or they got various pop-ups with their sponsors and the type of activities that you can do before the game. From multiple DJ sets and everything that I just outlined. That's the pregame, and then when you're at the game, everybody's shouting from the top of their lungs the national anthem and all of the cheering when lineups are announced. It felt it was unbelievable. Now, but also simultaneously, when you're speaking, and keep in mind that this game was being played in the East Coast in New York, right, a big city. So as a result, bro, I'm telling you, Shivam and I, we've seen Scottish people, we've seen Brazilian people, Haitian, um, Ecuadorian, Aussies, Moroccans. We have seen everybody. So I think that plays a big part now. But I think also when you're talking about games that are maybe being played in like Vancouver, British Columbia, or Kansas City, Missouri, I think that there will be a difference there. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. So what you're saying is that from
It
your
depends on where the
experience.
game is.
Yeah,
Truly.
okay. So you're saying,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, so that makes sense. Okay,
yeah,
that's an
yeah,
interesting perspective. All right. Have you guys been enjoying chopping it up with other people in the streets or what?
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Shivam, take this one away, bro.
yeah, man. So we've had few watch parties that we've went to, um, but the entire week, last 2 weeks have been, we've like every day it's like a different jersey, or
Yeah.
every time we step outside we see a different jersey. So there's people all over the world that are visiting in the city, and for the matches. Like for example, today we saw a few
Yeah,
Uzbek
yeah,
jerseys
yeah.
and
We're
the
walking in
flag.
Brooklyn. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So we were in Brooklyn. We saw people in Uzbek jerseys. I gotta say, gotta give it to the Brazilian fans, man. They should
They showed out
they showed
yesterday.
out in heaps.
Yeah,
The last week, especially in New York, there's been um like like that's probably the biggest fan base right now in the city, just in terms of population. There's a lot of Brazilians, and you can just see it walking around. There's a lot of jerseys, so that's been pretty fun, like saying hi to them and saying vamos Brazil, and kind of like get especially yesterday,
yeah.
after that 3-0 loss, one victory against what was it?
Haiti.
Haiti, yeah. And yeah, the atmosphere was crazy. We were at this watch party by Hudson Yards, and it was fully decked out in yellow
Yeah,
Brazil uniforms,
yeah.
and just interacting with everyone was awesome. And they were going crazy after doing their chants and stuff.
Bro, they went crazy when Endrick came on.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
yeah,
I love to hear it, man.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome, and that's what I was hoping to hear. With the World Cup summary, you never know how it's going to play out. But I'm happy to hear that from you guys being on the East Coast. You're able to report on just the festiveness within the city and the fact that it feels like every time you guys are stepping outside, you are seeing people in jerseys, is what it sounds like, and
oh,
everyone's fine.
dude, that's the main attire right now, dude. Like, I feel out of place not wearing my Killian jersey, for example, or any jersey. You know what I mean? I really do. Like, I'm like, damn, like, me, bro. The amount of jerseys, various jerseys that I have, I'm like, damn, I feel out of place for not wearing a jersey.
It's like you got to be wearing a jersey every day. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And then just to echo what Siobhan was saying about the huge amount of Brazilian fans, same deal with Colombia, man. On Wednesday, before we hopped on, just in Times Square, bro, the amount of Colombians that were there, and I just took tons of pictures with various Colombian folks. Sent it over to my sister-in-law because, of course, she's Colombian, and stuff like that. So, Colombia and Brazil have showed out here without a doubt. Same with Morocco. A lot of Morocco jerseys as well. So those are definitely the top three for sure.
interesting. Okay, so Colombia, Morocco, and Brazil have been the three most common jerseys that you've seen so far in the city.
Yeah, yeah. And then my sister-in-law was also telling me that there's a big Colombian population here in New York. So.
Yeah, those Colombia matches I've been viewing, man. I'm hyped for the one in Miami. I feel like that's the place to be. Saturday, June 27th, Portugal, Colombia. They
I
might burn
know,
it
bro. Yeah,
to the
yeah,
place.
yeah. I
Uh,
know.
So that's awesome, man. That makes me happy to hear that the city's, the city's full. I mean, the city's always bustling regardless, but with all the World Cup tourists and travelers, adds an even more special feeling to it. And I'm glad that you guys are basking in that atmosphere and really enjoying it. Um, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on the on Friday, yesterday's matches. I know we talked a little bit about the U.S. We talked a little bit
Yeah.
about Turkey,
Yeah.
and
Well, wait.
today's match as well.
So
Yes,
wait,
sir.
before we get to that, how has it been in Orange County for you, Ryan? How's the like? Is there like a real community around watching it
Yeah,
together, or not as much as you'd hope?
no, I think there has been. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't really gone to as many watch parties maybe as I would have planned for it. But the way I look at it is it's only 10 days in. There's still, knock on wood, about a month left in the tournament. I did go to one, with two of our beloved mutual friends, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
The World FIFA Fan Fest, that was a blast.
Nice.
Being a part of that and just talking to people. Wearing all kinds of different jerseys. Just that was a cool experience. I would definitely love to do that again throughout the tournament. But that's really the only one out of the 10 days that I've done that where I've been out in public and I got sunburnt like hell. I mean, dude, I was a lobster for like a day and a half. I think I've gone back down to my original skin tone in the last couple of days since then. But all in all, I mean, I definitely want to do it more. I haven't really gone to any in Orange County, but I know some people who hopefully will come on there and have done that watch party for the deal, and they could probably speak more to it than I can. But
Yeah.
all it's been fun to me, even not necessarily just going to a watch party, but just like whether it's like going and picking up dinner or something, and then they got the match on, and you see people watching it, or just watching with my parents or by myself. Just having those. I think Malik mentioned it earlier when we talked about it before, like having the matches on in our time zone and throughout convenient times of the day has been really good for me because I feel like I've been able to really immerse myself into it in a way where it's different. Like you mentioned, when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 in the morning or whatever it is. But the fact that it's throughout the day and it's in our time zone, I think it's really made for an enjoyable viewing experience so far through 10 days. And definitely look forward to adding more layers to it. Whether it's like being at a match or outside of the watch party or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think so far it's been good. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I know SoFi has had Switzerland and Bosnia were out here the other day, and it looked like there was a decent amount of people from both countries visiting. And tomorrow's a big one, Iran, Belgium, and I'm pumped for that. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that one. So it's gonna be a good time, man.
Yeah.
Question for you: are you seeing like many like people with various jerseys on, stuff like that? Um, I would imagine probably not, right? Because
No,
the closest
no,
thing
not that.
is SoFi, and we're about 45 minutes away.
Yeah, not that I've seen over here. But like I said, that's also probably partly due to the fact that I haven't really been like I said. I'm sure if I went to a watch party, it'd be different. Even
Right,
if it
right.
was. So I think I'm probably not the best to answer that just because I mean, and you guys can attest to this too. I mean, OC's a lot, and Southern California, Los Angeles, and all that is a lot more spread out compared to New York City, where everything is super
Hundred
dense.
percent. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so maybe the number of people jerseys is about the same, but you don't maybe see it as often because everything's so spread out. You might not even see it if you don't find it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Very true. Very true. And then is Great Park closed? And what I mean by that is maybe are they, because of course the U.S. is training out there. Maybe when the U.S. do have their training sessions, because they already had the one that was open to the
Yeah,
public and stuff.
those are
It's
all
closed,
closed
right?
training sessions. Yeah, you're
No,
not
no, no, I
allowed
know,
to
but
go
like,
out.
nobody could be at Great Park while they're training, right? At this point.
That's a good question too. I wish I had an answer for that, to be honest with you. I think the Great Park is still open, to be honest with you, because I mean, dude, the Great Park is massive.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that you're still able to go. The
You know what?
only
There's probably bits and pieces that stay open, but then once you're getting
That's what I'm
closer,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I think. I think they probably, like, because they don't want people watching the practices and
yeah, yeah,
whatnot,
yeah,
but
yeah. Somebody records
I
it and it's on Instagram, and then
yeah, but
yeah.
I think it's still open. I mean, actually, I'm honestly, I probably have to go boots on the ground and go find that answer for you, get back to you. Probably go do gotta go do a live segment from the Great Park or something and be able to give you a proper answer, but from my knowledge, I think it's still open. Just I know they don't let people the only one they had open to the public was that one that was, the Monday
Beginning of
before,
June, yeah.
yeah, beginning of June, and it's unfortunate because I know we had talked about going, but by the time that we had talked about it,
They
we
already
missed
did
the
the
window yeah, we missed the window to apply for tickets by,
yeah,
like, 2 days, which was a bit of a bummer because that would have been cool,
yeah.
uh, to be a part of that practice, but,
Who's
uh,
practicing there right now?
The
the
U.S.
US
Just the
Yeah,
U.S.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I think
Ahead of their
they're
match.
staying in Laguna, I think, or
Yeah, they're
Dana.
staying at the Ritz. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
staying in Laguna, and then I actually read an article that was pretty interesting where it said that originally so the US Federation wanted to be in Irvine no matter what, was what it seemed like, but originally they wanted to go to UCI, but then FIFA kinda made it complex, and UCI and FIFA didn't see eye to eye, so then the US team pivoted to the Great Park.
Great Park's the better facility, man. Why would they want to be at UC Irvine?
I mean, I guess it worked out for them, if anything, because I mean, they got the OCSC out at the Great Park. They got,
Right.
and I think it's a great opportunity for the Great Park to kind of put itself on the map a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Irvine's been kind of under the surface, maybe a little bit without people realizing it, has kind of slowly but surely been building itself up, not only in terms of more population, but they've got a. I mean, they've got a couple of pro teams out in Irvine now. They've got, I think, there's a professional cricket team out here in Irvine now too, I think, and they've got the OCSC playing out here at the Great Park, and slowly but surely, I think Irvine's starting to make a little bit of a claim to be more of a national player. I think they've been playing a long game, and I think the seeds of that are slowly but surely starting to come to fruition. But it wouldn't shock me in the slightest if in like 15, 20 years or so, Irvine's got a professional team of some kind that's even higher up than OCSC, for example.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know about this cricket team, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Irvine's doing a lot behind the scenes. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying to the people that don't know this, and there's some people who do. Like, I mean, the Irvine company owns everything, man. Like, even
Yeah,
outside of
yeah, yeah,
Irvine,
yeah, 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 yeah.
those guys control everything. So, there's been, I think, a longer play there over the years, to really. I mean, I think the fruits of their labor are not fully there yet, but I think there's a big push to add a professional sports portfolio into Irvine, which I think is fascinating because I think so it's a cool conversation to have for sure. I think but that's a good question as far as the Great Park. I'll have to kind of go in and look at that.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And then just to go back to your original question, talking to me about yesterday and today's games. We'll go all in on today's games for sure. Yesterday, I spoke on US Australia already, but just to give a little more like of a tactical analysis for you. The Australia didn't really get anything going, bro. You know, the US just thoroughly, you saw were the better side, and there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it that the U.S. thoroughly deserved those 3 points, and for them to get it done without Pulisic is great. And now you don't feel this urgency to bring Pooley back. And speaking of, we got Sports Center on, and they're showing Pooley right now. Uh, doing some calf raises and whatnot, solo training. And look at that, man.
At the Great
You
Park.
got the city of Irvine on Sports Center, bro, right there.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Um,
ESPN wrote an article spreading some Irvine propaganda the
that's
other day.
right. I remember you sent that our way. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Love to see it. Love
so
to see
yeah,
it.
I mean that was just that was a
Right.
thorough
They got Jenny Taft live
victory.
from Irvine seemingly every day on
That's
Fox, so
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Irvine's the epicenter, baby. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and then Scotland, Morocco. I mean, bro, for Morocco to only score one goal against Scotland definitely hurts them. That's for sure. But again, you and I talked about it. Scotland is going to be the team that will give both the Brazilian and Moroccan sides more of a fight in comparison to Haiti. So
yeah, they
Scotland
won't
did do
concede
that.
as much. Yeah.
Right, right, right. So, for so far Morocco to only score two goals in this tournament, they were touting themselves as a much better attacking team, and that's why, Walid Regragui resigned because he was getting so much criticism and heat for the lack of goal scoring. But here they are only scoring two goals to begin their campaign. Um, with Brazil, it should have been 5-0. I think they do what they're supposed to do, man. I think if for Brazilian fans, if there's one thing to be definitely excited about, it's the connection that Vini and Mateus Cunha have out there. You can tell, they know what spots they like to be in, and they're feeding each other very well, man, giving each other great balls and everything, great service. Um, Rafinha's absence is gonna hurt. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I remember you were hearing Landon Donovan speak really highly of Gabriel Martinelli, and he thinks that Martinelli will take Rafinha's spot in the 11. It's crazy to me that Igor Thiago started against Morocco, and he didn't see any of the field against Haiti yesterday. Like Shivam and I were saying, Brazil fans went crazy when Endrick came on. Like
Yeah.
it felt like as if like this is their boy. You know what I mean?
It's
This
their
is who.
future.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it meant so much for them that Endrick was on. He scored. He scored, of course. He was offside. So,
Yeah.
just they Brazil did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Morocco, dude, you need. Well, first of all, I mean, you got to at least put four right against Haiti, right? And then you have to hope that uh, should Brazil win, that it's just a 1-0, right? That way you're level on goal difference, and I don't know what's the what's the next thing in terms of tiebreak that will differentiate who finishes first and second there off the top of my head, but you need to at least put four against Haiti. So uh, let's see you do that. Haiti are the second side officially eliminated from the World Cup. Give them a ton of credit. Landon Donovan was really, really praising this Haitian side, just talking about how, they're not going to be a gimme anymore in like CONCACAF play and whatnot. And more likely than not, with this expanded format, we'll see Haiti in a lot more tournaments in the World Cup. And, just the fact that the various earthquakes that they've had throughout the year, and they had to play their games in Curacao actually because of what happened over there. So just a resilient bunch. And they had a couple of chances, man. I
Yeah.
I can appreciate them really, really trying to put one in the back of the net, because it would mean so much for their nation, to get a goal in the World Cup. So
Yeah.
I thought that was special there for sure.
Yeah. I watched that game live with Malik, and yeah, there were like many opportunities for Haiti to capitalize, especially in the second half, I believe. But
Second half they played a lot better too,
they
dude.
played a
Yeah,
lot better,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And just couldn't find one to connect. But yeah, great resilient team. I will say on the Brazil side, yeah, Rafinha was very impressive, setting people up. Also having, I think, one goal he had called back. He was
Yeah,
offside.
yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah, call
But
back.
he was a great contributor. And it'll be tough to see them without him. But they were without him, and most of much of the game, a significant portion of the game in the second half, and they were fine. And we'll see if that continues. But I do agree. I feel like that score was a bit. I don't want to say underwhelming, but like it was. It was there was a lot more left on the table for on the Brazil side that I think like they could have had at least 6. I feel like we were like
100%. Yeah.
but yeah, but still a good win nonetheless.
What are your thoughts on the game, man?
Which one, Brazil, Haiti?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys said it best. I mean, look, I got to tip my cap to Haiti. I mean, they even like I watched the match against Scotland, and I thought they were a bit unfortunate to not get a result in that match. They really went for it. They play. They don't just sit back and pray. They go for it. Um, but I give a lot of credit to Haiti. I think they'll definitely. I would love to see them be a fixture moving forward in the World Cup. And then I think you guys mentioned with Brazil. I think, could they have scored a little bit more? Absolutely. But I think all in all, if you're Brazil, 3 points is 3 points. You take that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was totally unsurprising. But, look, I think for Haiti, even though they're eliminated, I think they're going to go out against Morocco and give it a go, man. And I'm excited to see that
Yeah.
match because Morocco's not going to, Haiti's not going to just lay over and let Morocco put 7 past them, at least without them trying to put 7 past them. So uh, I've been very impressed with Haiti, and we'll get to Curacao in a little bit. You mentioned
Yeah.
Curacao. I mean, what a performance by Curacao, a historic result for them. We'll get to that, but I mean, I tip my cap to these nations that are really, whether it's Cape Verde, like you mentioned, Shivam, Curacao, Haiti, they're really proud, and all that.
Yeah. Um. Well, how do you like? Do you think Brazil has lived up to expectations in terms of coming into the tournament? They had high hopes. Do you feel like they're kind of where you thought they'd be, or a little bit better, a little bit worse? I think for me,
I think
they're
it's
right where I thought they'd kind of
Yeah, I
be.
think
Yeah.
a little bit right around. I think it's a little too early. I think I'd like
Yeah.
to. Honestly, I'm really intrigued to see how that Brazil Scotland match goes on match day 3 because
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
way Scotland are going to play, especially because Scotland's not going to want to get the Scotland's not going to want to get blown out.
Well,
Yeah.
Scotland. I mean, they're. Just the way that they historically like have been. Um, they are not going. While they're not gonna completely go for it, what they will do is just try their best to play mistake-free football. And if they walk out with a point, they are more than satisfied, and they will finally um, advance beyond to the knockouts for sure, without a doubt. So that's exactly what they're gonna do. And I want to see this team now without Rafinha, because keep in mind, dude, Rafinha does so much off of the ball, even for Barcelona. And what I mean by that is the pressing that he does, what I mean, him running and tracking back. He does a lot of the dirty work, and can Mr. Vinny, right, a guy who uh threw a hissy fit that Zabi Alonso pulled him out because he wasn't doing his job in pressing and running. Can he step up to the plate and do that, or is he going to delegate this to his teammates?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I think that group's been one of the more interesting groups so far. I'm excited to see match day 3 there.
100%, 100%. And then
So let me get your thoughts on let me get your
today,
guys' thoughts on
yeah,
today's matches because we're,
yeah,
we're we're approaching the kickoff of Tunisia Japan, so it'll classify as a little pregame, and then we'll feed your boys to the wolves.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay, well, the
So
Dutch and Sweden.
yep. How about Brody or what's his name?
Oh,
First
Brian Brobby. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Robbie
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Robbie,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sunderland
First two
striker. Yeah,
goals,
yeah.
and then Gakpo.
Yep.
Liverpool, right of Liverpool.
Yep.
The next 2 goals.
Somerville
Yeah.
hit the night, hit the Steph Curry night there.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan, I've talked about this with you about my thoughts on Graham Potter, and he set up the team in an epic disaster, right? In that first 20 minutes, playing with that back three. And he got out coached by Ronald Koeman. And Ronald Koeman is usually the guy who doesn't do the out coaching of his counterparts. He's the one who does get out coached, right? So yeah, they didn't start well. They were playing from behind the whole time, and I know that Yassine Ayari had that. Um, I'm sorry, there was a disallowed goal from one of the Swedish defenders, but Yassine Ayari had hella chances also to put one in the back of the net in the first half. So in summary for you, brother, Netherlands clinical, Sweden were not. Anthony Alonga was electric today, dude. That guy came on, made instant impact. You start to wonder if he's gonna make his way into the starting 11. But what hurts Sweden today is them losing 5-1. Why? Because now while they have 3 points, bro, their goal differential is now 0. So all the hard work that they did against Tunisia, it went away because they came back and lost 5-1, right? So that really stings for Sweden. And
Yeah, because now you kinda need to go into match day 3 and get something
you
against Japan.
you got to get more than a draw, dude. I'll tell you that. If you want to guarantee yourself through, right? You got to get more than a draw. So,
Yeah, I think Shivam said it really best earlier. Where, to be honest, that was one of the. It almost sounds weird to say this, but that was probably the most competitive 5-1 match I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sweden honestly probably should have scored more. Look,
They should
they
have.
they should have conceded 5 times, but I think Sweden should have scored more than once. Uh,
Yeah.
they had some really great chances. They had the offsides goal as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
You mentioned Anthony Alonga. I mean, he was brilliant. Not only even the goal that he scored. Did you see the little move he put on?
Oh, the Meg. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
that was sexy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Back heel Meg.
I mean, dude, that was one of those things that gets you off your couch and you go, "Whoo, boy!" You let out one of those. He was. I think you said it best. I think Graham Potter really got himself. The way that Sweden played in the last 25 minutes of the first half made you wonder why they didn't play like that from the jump. And
Yeah.
then I think you mentioned it. Graham Potter, man, he was having some. I mean, dude, I think he was having Chelsea PTSD flashbacks earlier, man. I mean,
Yeah, for real.
you
Just him
know,
looking completely stunned and not knowing what to
you
do.
know,
Yeah, I
I
remember
think
that. Yeah.
it felt like
You've
you
seen
know, it
that
was,
one too many times.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I
But
sure
look,
have.
Sweden. The one thing, I mean, we said it before the tournament, and Sweden in qualifying finished bottom of their group in qualifying, and the only reason they were able to be one of the 4 playoff teams in that little quadrant was because of Nations League.
Yeah.
Uh, so they haven't really been that inspiring of a side. But the one caveat with Sweden that made them really fascinating to me was that, we talked about this before, where, it's one thing if you've got an Isak or a Victor Gyökeres, and they've got both. And then on top of that, you've got Yassine Ayari, you've got Elonga, you've got Nygren, all these different guys. Like, this is a solid team. Like, some of these are a bunch of bums running out there. I do think Elonga's got to really start on match day 3 against Japan, especially like you said, knowing that 3 points is going to get you through, and you don't want to leave it up to goal differential or
Yeah.
maybe, and you want to solidify that as much as possible. I
Yeah.
think you got to go for it against Japan, and they've got the attacking talent to be able to score goals. The big thing with them is just going to be, can they limit the damage on the other end? Because anytime you give up 5 goals in a match, it's a tall ask to be able to
Yeah.
get a result out of that.
It was a tall mountain for after the first 20 minutes.
And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I think
Yeah.
coming in when they went to halftime, I think it's one of those interesting things where, we talk a lot about momentum in sports. I think the worst thing that happened for Sweden was halftime because they were really close
Yeah.
to getting the goal. And I think if they would have had
Yeah.
maybe 10 more minutes, in that first half. They could have cut it in 2-1, and maybe it's a different match. But then
Yeah.
you go into halftime, and then within 2 minutes out of the half, you go down 3-0.
3.
And then at that point, the floodgates, then it's 4-0, and then Anthony Alonga makes it 4-1. And then Crescencio Somerville, who's a brilliant player, by the way. Somerville's a really great player. He's fun to watch. I remember
Yeah.
when he was with Leeds a couple of years ago, and I was like, man, this guy's fun to watch, and he's gotten even better. So I think with that match, yeah, I think if you're Sweden, Malik, you said it best. I mean, I think the worst possible outcome for Sweden happened today because all that hard work you did against Tunisia and putting five
Null and
past
void.
null and void, and now you go, because then we were mentioning Scotland earlier. Scotland's got 3 points, but now Scotland is level on goal differential, same as Sweden, and that's a big thing moving forward for match day 3, where maybe it comes down to like one or two of those sides moving forward if they're still on 3 points. That's a big part of the equation right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you guys mentioned Germany, Ivory Coast earlier.
Yeah.
Interested to see what you guys thought of that because I know you watched that together.
Shivam,
Yeah.
take it away.
Yeah, I thought, look, it was an interesting match. It was very, almost in a way, evenly fought up until Ivory Coast got one. But even then, after they got one, it still felt fairly even sided. Germany, you had a sense that Germany was gonna tie it up because they were getting more opportunities in the second half. A lot of shots. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but more opportunities and shots on goal. Um, and then they eventually ended up getting one, and then they got. And then I thought, there was an opportunity for Ivory Coast that was just I I don't know what happened, and I think you know the play I'm talking about. It was one of their players is out wide on the right hand side, crosses in on the ground for a fairly open shot on goal, at least an attempt, like a very that like I understand it's a big stage. You're on the grass, and there's a lot at stake, especially everything that's what happened with Ivory Coast with the visa situation and such, which I understand. But that there was an open shot, an opportunity for them to really take momentum back on their side, and this guy had an open shot and he just didn't take it, and I thought that was the real uh, gut wrencher for them, I think, and that kind of took away the energy it felt like from the team, and that's when you knew Germany was. And it was late in the game, I think like 85th minute, 86th minute when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Was it
Yeah, around that time.
around that time?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that really just took away all the
And then Germany got theirs in stoppage
yeah,
time.
and then they got theirs, yeah. So yeah, that was just perplexing to me. Again, as a fan, as a casual fan looking in, that was like, wow, that if there was ever a moment to really put your country ahead, that was it, at least in this tournament. Um, and obviously, there's no guarantee they would have won, but it would have really set them up in good position. And Germany would have had their backs against the wall again after tying it up. So, yeah, but it was a great game. Happy to see Germany again, back on top into the next guaranteed to be in the next round, not the round of
Yeah,
32.
about time for them, bro. For the
Um,
last two World Cups, they didn't.
yeah, exactly. So good to see them back in it, finally. And I think, and it's good for their team, their management. I'm sure they feel thrilled, and some of their players who were there last time after the disappointment. This has to feel great. So happy for them.
All
Okay.
right, Ryan, are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
All right. Well,
Lay it on me,
um,
baby.
if you're if you're Ivory Coast, man, you're pissed off. You're pissed off that you didn't walk away with at least a point. because I will give Julian Nagelsmann and Germany credit. The subs that Nagelsmann made were spot on. The guy knew what was needed,
Mhm.
and it was his substitutions that made the impact. Right, Emery assisted Dennis Undav for the first goal to tie it, and then Undav uh, hits the game winner. So give Julian Nagelsmann a lot of credit. He made the right changes. If you're and he had a great game plan on Jan Diomande. He was having Kimmich uh, on his behind, and as soon as Jan was getting going, same deal. Uh, they were doubling him, and they forced him a lot to give the ball up. And they said, if you're gonna beat us or get a result against us, it's not gonna be from Yan Diomande. So and I know that Ecuador did the same thing, and we talked about that after their game. But the difference is Germany executed it. That's the difference there. And it's such an interesting dynamic for me that Germany had Hansi Flick, right, coaching Germany. He coached the national team, um, coming off of that treble season at Bayern Munich. And mind you, for any German coach, the dream gig is coaching the German national team.
Yeah.
Like if you coach the German national team, you're him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You are the guy.
Right.
And so for it to not work out with Germany, everybody was perplexed, right? They were saying, "Hey, like, is it the German FA? Like, are they not developing players? What's going on here? Because we just saw Hansi Flick have one of the best seasons ever at Munich."
Mhm.
So the narrative then shifted to it might be the German FA's problem, right? And then within that same time period, you had Julian Nagelsmann coaching Munich,
Mhm.
but that relationship with Nagelsmann and I think Nick can definitely speak a lot more about this one. But the relationship with Julian Nagelsmann and the Bayern Munich hierarchy, like Early Hoeneß and those guys and whatnot, just didn't really see eye to eye. Julian is a younger minded guy, right? He is somebody who is a lot more. He's more modern and likes to be that innovator and does things, in a different way in comparison to the norm. And he got the sack. If you remember, I think he was like, wasn't it? He was about to go on like a ski trip or something, and they call him up and they said that you're fired. And then that's when they brought on Thomas Tuchel to finish that season, and then that's when he started to. That's when he got hired. And then now here Julian Nagelsmann is. Um, Germany was the host nation of the Euros, and they played pretty good. Definitely that game against Spain in the quarters, if you remember that. Uh, they played Spain really tough, and let's be honest, Cucurella put his hand down. He knew what he was doing. I think if you know any other ref saw that, uh, they likely, you know, uh, give that a penalty, right? So, and now he finally has Germany going to the knockout stage for the first time since 2014. Now,
Mhm.
how far Germany goes? Oh, now how far Germany goes? You know, the jury's still out there, but just it's funny how all this works, man. Isn't that a weird dynamic?
Oh man, I mean, I think we're gonna have to get the homie Nick D on here very shortly, hopefully, and have him talk about Germany and Mexico and the USA, and I'm sure he can shed light on Germany far better than I can. But from the Ivory Coast perspective, I think you said it really well. Where uh, I think they'll be pissed off that they didn't get more than at least a point out of that match. Credit to Nagelsmann. I mean, Dennis Undov's a great player. Stuttgart, and him coming off the bench. I mean, it's him, Jonathan David, and Lionel Messi at the top of the Golden Boot race right now.
Yeah.
And just like that,
Just like
Japan is
that.
on the board.
Wow. Very early into the match. Poor Tunisia, man. Malik, I think this is a good opportunity for you to have your Tunisia conversation.
About the coach getting fired?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. I don't think like after one game to can him is it's quite ridiculous in all honesty. And they bring in Herve Renard, and the appeal there was that he had that shock upset managing Saudi. Was that an own goal? I think it was. Let's see that. Let's double check it.
Yep. It was off of a.
Oh, okay. It is.
15.
It is heel. Yeah, it is back heel.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it wasn't. But yeah, they bring in Herve Renard out of completely nowhere, and here they are, losing 1-0 early, and more likely than not, they will be the third side officially eliminated from the World Cup.
Okay. All right.
You gotta continue with Germany, Ivory Coast though.
Okay, yeah, I'll go do that. With Germany, man, credit to them. They're moving on to the knockout stages with the Curacao result. Germany's gonna top the group. It's a great moment for them after their recent struggles in recent World Cups. I'm interested to see how far Nagelsmann can take them. But I think if you're Ivory Coast, you're devastated, and if you're Germany, you couldn't be more ecstatic because now you head into match day 3, and you can do whatever you determine best. If you want to rest guys, if you want to stay with momentum, whatever you want. I think you said it best. I think with that match, I saw the Ivory Coast manager was pretty pissed off as well.
Yeah. I mean, as he should be.
About something that happened in that match regarding, I think it was regarding, he said Germany's lack of fair play. He was angry. He was angry after Wilfried Single put the ball out because he was injured, but then Nathaniel Brown decided not to give the ball back to Ivory Coast and launched a German attack with the throw-in. And I guess he complained about that after the match. But credit to Dennis Undov, and then I do want to talk about this Ecuador Curacao match because this
Oh
this
yeah, we will.
this keeper from Curacao, there was the big thing
15
in
saves.
What happened?
Curaçao's keeper had 15 saves.
Yeah, 15 saves. One off of Tim Howard, Eloy Room, the 37-year-old.
Crazy.
Have yourself a day, man. 15 saves, and it's not like these were straight at the keeper.
Yeah. If you remember, bro, you and I touched on the fact that like who's gonna score goals for Ecuador, bro, and Enter Valencia in his late 30s is it's not enough, dude. It's just simply not enough. And if you're Ecuador, you're pissed to score no goals through 2 games.
I think I
And
saw
you're wasting such an amazing back line. That defense is incredible. You're pissed. I mean, first of all, man, Ivory Coast got bailed out that this game ended in a draw.
Oh
They
yeah,
got
Ivory
they got
Coast. Ivory Coast. Yeah, I think that makes the match against Germany sting a little bit less.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Ecuador also definitely one of the disappointments of the tournament. I'd say, we talked about them as maybe being one of those dark horse sides with that level of defense, but the question was going to be, can they score goals? And the answer to that has been no.
Yeah.
I think I saw something during the match where I think it's almost been 900 minutes of World Cup play where someone that isn't Caicedo or Ender Valencia scored a goal for Ecuador, which is remarkable.
I know.
Uh, you
And
know,
Moises
they
is
they
having a pretty disappointing tournament, by the way, dude.
yeah, it's been tough for them, and you know, look, credit to Curacao. I thought number 21, Mr. Chong, was really impressive. You know, with
Oh,
oh, there we go. That live reaction feeding my soul right there. Yeah, credit to Curacao, man. Credit to Curacao, a historic point. And now, you know, that Ivory Coast Curacao match becomes really interesting. And then if you're Ecuador, you need 3 points against
yep,
Germany.
yep.
And what looked, you know, promising for Ecuador, you know, we talk about the 8 third place sides. You know, this might be one of those groups where only 2 make it out of the group.
I know. After all, I know. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
100%. Yeah,
yeah, if you're Ecuador, you got to be incredibly disappointed. Then if you're Curacao, I mean, you're on top of the world. You're on cloud nine right now, especially
yeah,
after losing 7-1 to Germany.
yeah. Do you think that went in, bro? Was that over the line?
No. Did it?
Ryan, you there?
I am here. Oh,
Are you
yeah.
watching the match live?
Am I watching the match? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the match on in the
Did that
background. I
look?
think.
Did it cross the line?
They need to give you a better angle. Okay, here, let's see. I
Yes.
did, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
That's a
goal.
goal.
That's in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna be two. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I think you guys are still. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep, that's 2-0
Wait,
right there. Actually, right? Yeah, that's 2-0. That's 2-0.
I was gonna say, I was like, yo, is he not reviewing this? Uh, what's going on here?
Live from Monterrey, Mexico. Looks like they're not reviewing it. Wow. I guess no goal.
Well,
Or
what?
maybe. I don't know. This is a chaotic
No,
situation going
It
on over
is, bro.
here.
I
I
can't
think
even.
they're reviewing it.
I
I think
can't even. Yeah, I
he's
don't even know what
getting
he's doing.
he's getting feedback right now from upstairs. The ref is. Wait, what? Or is it not?
Yo, no way, dude.
Dude,
Bro, are you kidding me?
they robbed the goal.
Yo, I mean,
They straight up.
Shivam, Ryan, you guys saw what I saw,
I
right?
saw that. Yeah, they stole a goal
Yeah, I
from
don't
him.
know. Maybe I'm blind, man. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Well, Tunis
Well,
with the ultimate bailout right there.
doing this.
They gotta review it again. Can they review it again?
No, no, that's it. It's done and dusted.
Okay, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It crossed the line. Unless he was offside, but he wasn't. Because they gave him a corner. It's not even close.
Oh, wow.
That is not a no goal.
Interesting. Uh, but nevertheless, yeah, I mean, with Curacao, that World Cup roster is going to be remembered forever for getting a point, in the World Cup. So special
Yeah.
moment for them.
Yeah. Wow, this is kind of surprising.
Yeah, no, a historic moment for Curacao. Well, gentlemen, any concluding thoughts here before we put a bow on this? I'll let you guys watch this Tunisia Japan match. Although we should do one of these days, I think it would be a good idea to do like a full 90. We do like a live match
Live.
commentary sort of
Oh
deal.
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
love
we
to see
definitely,
that.
yeah, we definitely should run that up. Closing thoughts for me. Well, I haven't had the opportunity yet to give a shout out to the boy Armand and his Knicks. So
Oh yeah.
Armand, congratulations. I know it took a lot for it to happen, but just such an unforgettable feeling when a team that you put so much into finally gets it done. For me, that moment was the Warriors' first chip, because before that, the last time they won was in the '70s as well. So they had to beat the Warriors before, they became the Warriors, of course, that we know and love now. That I love. I mean, I don't know, not many others.
We love.
Not many others.
What is this?
Say
Have the
we.
same mutual. Yeah, yeah. I had to throw that. I just wanted to throw that in there, But yeah, just congrats, Armand. Got to give you a big shout out, man. You called it really from very early on, man. You were very confident. You didn't waver in your decision at all. Uh, you kept a level head, even when they went down 2-1. So just super happy for you, and hopefully the next time we get together, we'll properly celebrate your Knicks. So congrats again, and big shout out to Big Mike Brown. Mike Brown is somebody who has gotten a lot of criticism um, throughout his coaching career, and I'm talking about his first stint with LeBron, coaching the Cavs, um, his brief time coaching the Lakers, um, and him getting fired for no legit reason other than just Kings being the Kings and how they like to run their ship of incompetence. And it's not like he got a big vote of confidence when he did get hired, right? People were skeptical because of what happened with him in Sacramento and just everything that I outlined. So for him to be the head coach, the head honcho, because remember he won a few titles as an assistant coach with the Spurs and with the Warriors. So for him to get it done as the head honcho after many years, being in the game. Is a special moment. So
Yeah.
Shout out to the Knicks, man. Shout out to Armand. Shout out to Shavam's Knicks, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, for my closing thoughts, it's been a great tournament. Excited to see where the next set of matches goes this week, and as we advance to the next round, the round of 32, and then I mean the knockout rounds. I'm excited to see where it goes, and yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having us on, Ryan.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time out of your night. And let's definitely line up one of these full 90 commentary matches together. That would be a blast.
Yeah.
sounds great, bro.
All right, boys. Enjoy your time together. Hopefully, we'll get the two of you guys on together, and very shortly, and then we'll get the homie Nick D on with the four of us as well, and whoever else wants to join us. Josh,
Yeah.
the whole gang, everybody, more than welcome. Looking forward to it already.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can have one where it's all of us live from New York. That would be
Oh
great.
yeah, live from the city. Yeah, let's do it. Let's plan it out. Let's make it happen. That would be
Yeah. Look forward to it.
looking forward to it, guys. All right, man. Both of you guys take care of your nights. Enjoy each other's company on the East Coast, and
We
cheers to a
will.
great night, fellas.
Appreciate you, bro. Till next time, OG.
Till next time, OGs. Love you, boys.
But